Hello, one and all, and welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one, I'm here to talk about the featherweight champion in the UFC, Ilia Topuria, and the possible matchups that could be had for Ilia in the near future. But before getting started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. Ilia Topuria, now the featherweight champion in the UFC, seems to be taking his sweet time in terms of picking his next opponent. So I believe that there's going to have to be a point where somebody makes the decision for Ilia. And there are obvious choices. I mean, there's more than one obvious choice for Ilia. Perhaps number one name that pops into mind, obviously, now is Max Holloway, after winning that BMF title in spectacular fashion. Seems like Max is super hyped to go back down in weight, to face Ilia Topuria, to recapture that featherweight title once again. And I do understand that Ilia spoke about this in particular. He said if he was to fight Max, he wants that BMF title to be included in the fight. I think Ilia has a point. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't think that Max Holloway is going to have a problem with that. Unfortunately, despite this being the obvious option, it still has not, let's say, made it to the official stages of negotiations. Nothing on the surface, at least. You can also throw in a Brian Ortega, Yair Rodriguez. I don't know about Volkanovski after back-to-back knockouts, but obviously Volka, as soon as he gets back when he gets his proper rest, which I would assume Volka is probably going to be out for a good 6 months to a year, perhaps a year minimum, before we see Volka back in there. Obviously, Ilia is going to have to fight someone between now and then. And the three names that I mentioned, I believe, excluding, obviously, Alexander Volkanovski, are just the obvious choices. I mean, if Max can't make it in July, you can always throw in there a Brian Ortega, who's had a few things to say about Ilia. Yair Rodriguez, I do understand that you know we can get into the argument of rankings and inactivity, you name it. I do understand that UFC 300 is really Max is gonna need some time to regather himself, even though he did not take much damage against Justin Gaethje. So I wouldn't expect Max to be in there back, let's say, July. I could be wrong. But you can always throw Brian Ortega in there, and it would make sense for Ilia. I mean, he has to get back in the octagon sooner or later. And I believe if Ilia is unable to make the choice, then the UFC is going to have to make that choice for him, because the fans are waiting to see the champion of the featherweight back in action soon as possible. If you made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and like, subscribe for more.